Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, and you are here on the MLW Rewind. That's right. Also now a part of SNME. That's right. Sunday night's main event. And I never do this alone. I always do this with my PIC, the one and only Uncle Bobby B.
Uncle Bobby B.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're learning to say your name in different accents. That's incredible. That's awesome.
It's different language. Uncle. That's Francais.
Okay, well, okay, whatever. Fine. Different language, different accents. Listen,
This
is my fourth conversation of the day. I am super exhausted right now. I'm supposed to be on vacation. This doesn't feel like a vacation, Bobby.
This is only your fourth conversation? Dude, I've had like 15 conversations today.
I'm talking about podcasts. I've done 4 podcasts today.
Oh, a lot. I had to talk to like people, clients.
Oh no. Life is hard. I'm on vacation. I don't have to talk to nobody today.
Screw you and your vacation.
All right. So, guys, as you know, this is the recap of tonight's episode of MLW Underground. It's on Reels at 10 p.m. This will be dropping at 11:01. That's right. We're going to be dropping this right after to give you our thoughts and opinions on the show. Uncle Bobby, I'm going to sound off, but are you ready?
I think I'm sufficiently prepared.
All right, perfect. So you could have just said, yeah, I'm ready. Like you had to go extra with it, huh? All right. So MLW starts off tonight's episode with the one and only real one getting hit by a car driven by Mance Warner. That's right. Mance Warner pulled a blatant hit and run on real one. Enzo.
Don't tell nobody I was drinking and driving. Like, what the I was like, whoa, you can't say that on television.
You absolutely can. Reels approved it. They were okay with it.
Oh my god, I was dying though. Like he smoked him with the car.
Oh, he hit him pretty damn good. I mean, fake or not, he hit him straight on, man. Like yeah. Enzo didn't have it. He looked like he got the worst of that one. So Mance Warner, right after that, camera kind of breaks off. We get the introduction, and then we get regular appearance from the one and only CD, the former head booker of MLW, Cesar Durant. He comes out with Sam Adonis, and he lays down an open challenge for 1 million pesos. Pesos, that's right. If I'm correct on my math, I believe that's what, like $1,000?
I don't know. I haven't been to Mexico in years. Beats me.
Okay, so I don't know. I think it's 1,000 or 10,000, something like that. But anyways, he issues
50. It's 55 grand.
55 grand. Okay, so
US.
55 US. That's not bad. That's not bad for one payday. So 1 million pesos open challenge. And somebody answers it. Somebody answers it. And who answers it? Well, it's one half of the current tag team champions. That's right. Hustle and Power. Calvin Tankman comes out. The Hustle comes out. And the Power's behind him. That's right. EJ and Duca is going to join the boys on commentary. Matt Stryker, Joe Dombrowski. While Calvin Tankman is going to put Sam Adonis down. Unfortunately, did not go that way for Calvin Tankman. This was a good match. Good back and forth. I got to say, man, the more I see Sam Adonis work, it's just incredible how he can hit that 450 with the size and height that he is. And it was a picture perfect 450. Tankman and him had some great in-ring chemistry. Tankman had some moments. CD obviously got involved. So did the henchman. There was a brief time where Calvin Tankman was kind of pinned down on the second ring rope via the briefcase holding the funds. But all in all, this match was good. Just didn't work out well for Tankman on this day, and EJ really didn't help or get involved with his teammate in any way, shape, or form. All he did was stand up every once in a while and yell at the ref. This is definitely a guy who's checked out in terms of what he's going to do for his partner, even though we know he's already long gone.
But he talked a lot, but he didn't do anything.
He didn't do nothing. He was supposed to be out there, I guess, to be the equalizer for CD and his henchman. Did not happen. But did you see those two guys in the audience? They had the greatest sign I've ever seen.
Will hench
for food, and they were wearing the henchman masks.
Yeah, you can order them. Yeah,
they were. It was the best sign I have seen. Kudos to those two gentlemen. That was fantastic. Will hench for food. I love it. Absolutely loved it. But all in all, what did you think of this opening contest for tonight's episode?
I mean, clearly Sam Adonis is going to be built to be a big player in MLW. So why not? Why not build him up? And then it led to a whole bunch of stuff after the match, which made it even more interesting.
It did. I was going to get to that, but I wanted to get your thoughts on the match first. So right away, Sam Adonis grabs the mic, and he's got major heel heat. This guy can do no wrong right now in terms of being a heel. He's talking schmack. He told some guy like 5 rows out to shut him up, or he was going to shut his fat ass up for him. Like, Sam Adonis was just at a new level of heel heat. And he says he's ready for a title shot. He says, CD, I want my title shot. CD really has no power to make title shots happen because he's no longer the booker. But regardless of the fact, he says he wants a shot at the openweight title. That's right. He wants Davey Richards. Well, what does Davey Richards do? He never backs down from a fight. His music hits and he comes out and he's dealing with everybody. Go ahead.
His music, like, I understand time is tight, but just in terms of believability, like 4 seconds of his music playing before he came out would have made a world of difference from the words Davey Richards barely being out of his mouth, and he already came barreling down the ring. Like it was a minor thing, but it took it out for me. It was like, well, Davey was just sitting at Gorilla going like looking at his watch, like, when's it my time to go in?
I did think the same thing. I did. You're right. It does take you out of the story that's being told a little bit, but they hooked me right back in because Davey got in the ring and him and Sam slid out, but the henchman slid in, and then it was a 3-on-1 kind of assault, and then another person's music hits. That's right. John Hennigan appears. We knew he was coming, but he finally shows his face in MLW. We're like, all right, he's got a chair. We're thinking, hey man, this guy's going to be the equalizer for Davey. Maybe we get some tag team action. Who knows? He slides in the ring. Sam Adonis and the henchman run for the hills. Cesar Durant's outside, pulling major heel heat, pointing, doing this and that. And what happens? John picks up the chair and wham! Right over Davey Richards' back, like 4 times. And those were some hard chair shots. John Hennigan did not hold back on Davey Richards. What does this mean? Well, this means what we already knew. John Hennigan, much like his wife, Taya Valkyrie, has joined up with Cesar Durant. And it is what it is. It's all about money. Even Joe Dabrowski said, I can't believe it. The history that Hennigan has, the history that Valkyrie has. What does it come down to? Comes down to dollars and cents, ladies and gentlemen. There's not a surprise in the world that John Hennigan would switch sides and go this route.
Not a surprise at all.
What did you think about the whole interaction, other than Davey Richards' music taking you out for a minute, getting hooked back in, and then seeing John Hennigan aligning forces with CD? What did you think?
I mean, cool to see John Hennigan come out. He got a huge pop. But I mean, I expected that to happen because, I mean, are we not supposed to know that him and Ty and Valkyrie are married? Like, he's obviously going to align with his wife and who his wife is aligned with. So I mean, it wasn't a big swerve for me, but it was still cool. I mean, now you've got what was it CD was calling it? Is it now Azteca Lucha?
Azteca Lucha, yeah. He kind of dropped the underground because MLW is now underground, so it's Azteca Lucha. Yeah.
So we've got what Azteca Lucha is: CD, Taya, Hennigan,
his henchman, and
Sam Adonis.
Yeah.
All right, so now you got
don't forget some of the Mexicans,
and
some of the wrestlers from AAA that kind of aligned themselves. Like what was his name? The Joker looking dude. Oh, his name is escaping me. Pagano has aligned himself with CD, so he may not be there in full force, but he's still part of this faction, whatever it may be. So and don't forget Richard Holiday is kind of in the mix of that too, right? Him and Alicia, they're far from.
Yeah, well, Richard rang the bell, so we're hoping.
I was going to bring that up. Richard rang the bell. We also got some side note. We also got some major signings announced this week. That's right. Delmy Exo has officially signed with MLW. She's going to beef up that featherweight division, and we had seen her and her sister as part of the Sea Stars. So now she's signed officially with MLW, which is incredible for her. She's a great talent. I had her on the show. Go back through the archives and check out the conversation with that. And also Akira. Akira has signed with MLW. This guy brings a whole lot of ECW flair with a little bit of AAA lucha style. So I really dig Akira. As soon as I saw the signing, I didn't know too much, but I went back and checked out some YouTube clips. The guy's solid. And I can see a lot of great matchups coming with him. It's too bad Myron's gone because I think him and Myron would have tore it up. But regardless of the fact, these signings are impressive additions to the roster, especially Akira. He would fit in perfectly in that middleweight / open weight, divisions. And Delmy Exo definitely adds some power to that featherweight, that rather light featherweight division these days. What do you think about the new additions?
It was interesting that they announced it as a full-on signing. So it's not just like a so-and-so is appearing, like they've signed with Major League Wrestling. So we're going to be seeing them regularly. This is going to be one of the staple talents for the divisions, their respective divisions, that is. Akira is badass. If you're not familiar with Akira, I mean, you probably would be, but if you're not, go check out the match he had with his significant other, Masha Slamovich. They beat the shit out of each other. It was fantastic.
It was all for love. They beat the
shit. Oh yeah, no, they did it because they love wrestling and they wanted to put on a good show, and they beat the crap out of each other.
They absolutely did. That's one of the clips that I saw. It was a pretty damn good match.
It was so good. So yeah, go check that one out if you're not familiar with their work. It's definitely one to familiarize yourself with. See what Akira's got. He's like a weird hybrid between like a deathmatch guy and like a catch guy. So
Well, I think I
he's
summed it up pretty good saying the
yeah,
ECW flavor with that lucha style, right? He's got a little bit of everything.
right. Right. So, he fits the MLW mold of being a versatile hybrid style athlete. Excited to see what these two are going to bring to MLW. So, we've seen the attrition, we've seen people leaving, but we've seen people slotting right in. So, things are looking good at MLW right now. A lot of great talent are there. And if people are still sleeping on this league, they're missing out.
Absolutely. And the great thing about MLW is that, like Rob said, people come and go all the time. But as soon as people leave, there's already somebody waiting in the wings to come in and showcase their skill set and something different that they bring to the league. So MLW, Core Power always making moves. When we think we've got him figured out, no, the mad genius flies off the rails and he pulls something out of his hat. And it's always impressive and it's always cool, much like our main event, which we'll get to later tonight. But we got another match in the action. That's right. The Billington Bulldogs. They take on FBI, as I call them, FBI 2.0, because it's little Guido and not Vito, but little Guido and I believe his nephew of some kind or his actual son. But
Oh, it was Ray Jazz.
Ray Jazz, that's right. So FBI 2.0, little Guido still looking great, like we talked about when he made his appearance at Battle Riot, still looking great, doing his thing. This was an easy win for the Billington Bulldogs, though, because little Guido, I mean, he's a little bit on the older side, lost a couple steps. Every time he took a shot from the Billington Bulldogs, he felt it, and he had to check in Ray a lot of the time. So, it wasn't a great showing for FBI 2.0, and again, that's my name for them. I'm just calling them FBI 2.0. But the Billington Bulldogs, they definitely handled FBI with ease. Now, if you think about it, you've got the Billington Bulldogs in there. That's another tag team. You now have FBI 2.0. That's another tag team. You got Hustle and Power. And then you got the eventual, obviously, the champs that have taken the belts from Hustle and Power. So we know that the tag team division is getting a little bit on the heavier side again. They're actually bringing in some teams. They're bringing in these new rivals. And I'm digging it. Like I said, Core Power always making moves. He brings in Harry Smith as a single star. He brings in the Billington Bulldogs with him. And now we've got another team mixed into the division. And I honestly and truly don't believe that the Von Erichs are done with MLW. I just think they're done right now. But I could see the Von Erichs making an appearance here or there in the rest of this year. There's still a lot of time left in 2023. We're only 2 months in. So I think that we could see I would love to see the Von Erichs go up against the Billington Bulldogs. I think that would be a really good match. I really do. What do you think about that? What did you think about this match? And what do you think about what I said?
I'll tell you, I actually really liked this match, and I was extremely impressed with Ray Jazz, like more so than I expected I would be. I know they put him over on the commentary. He's got an amateur background as an athlete, much like myself. I wrestled in high school. So that was where you're supposed to laugh, George. But yeah,
I'm trying to be, but I'm trying 2023. I'm trying to be more positive, and I'm trying to
you
allow
should have been
people.
positively laughing at that. But
In my head, I'm laughing hysterically. If you did not see my face when you said, we're gonna go back and you can look at the clip when we premiere this later. But I did make my eyes widened. My eyes widened like I knew you were talking all kinds of shit, but I didn't want to. I was trying to sell for you, bro. I was trying to sell.
thank you. Well, speaking of selling, Guido sold like a
So good.
champ. He
So
ate a
good.
couple big clotheslines. I was real impressed with considering his age and like his he's not a huge dude. He was taking bumps, he was working hard, he was selling amazing. But yeah, I was really impressed with the way Jazz. I see a lot of potential in that kid. Like
Absolutely.
a lot of potential. He moved with confidence. His timing was pretty good. I don't know how long he's been fully wrestling, but I thought his timing was really crisp. I thought everything he did looked good. I was actually surprised they had him take the pin. I thought they would have Guido take it. But yeah, that guy might be a diamond in the rough, in my opinion. I was actually surprised how much I caught myself just watching him and the stuff he was doing and really enjoyed that. So that might be a bandito.
I like it. I actually like where you're going with that. You're right. It could be a diamond in the rough. Speaking of diamond in the roughs, we get another Hammer promo. And this one was a diamond in the rough, building off the promo from the last episode, basically telling Fatu last week that they're destined to fight forever. But also now in this promo, Hammer was frustrated. You can see the frustration because he's tired of the mind games. He's tired of Fatu telling him he's going to cash in. He's basically just saying cash in. Anytime, anywhere, I'm ready. This was one of Hammer's strongest promos. I really appreciated that. And I love the fact that he didn't usually do his simple slow build. He went right into it. He kind of went in, cutting his teeth, and he let Fatu know there's the frustration is boiling over. He's tired of the mind games. He's tired of Fatu coming out and saying, maybe today, maybe not. You're going to cash in? Cash in. We're going to do it in super fight. We know what's happening. Stop talking to me. I have other things to deal with. Speaking of the main event later on tonight. And right before I cut to Rob to get his opinions on the promo, we also get a big medical update on Real One. Big medical update. Real One is en route to the hospital. And there is a warrant for Mance Warner. That's right. There is an APB and a warrant out for Mance Warner and his vehicle. This vehicular, as Joe Dombrowski put it, which kudos to him, this almost vehicular manslaughter will not rest. It was almost vehicular manslaughter. It wasn't fully, but it almost was.
You remember Family Guy? They had, like, I think it was Ollie the Weatherman.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah.
Like, we need somebody to just do something like that for MLW. Like, tell us what happened to MLW. Like, Real One got hit by a fucking car and they took him to the hospital. And, like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, that, because it was funny. Like, medical update. Well, he's been taken to the hospital. Well, yeah, he got hit by a fucking car. I would hope so.
What I love, though, is that they use the stock footage of the ambulance on the street, just the cherries turn. I'm like, the stock footage is so sexy.
Oh, and the interference with the camera footage at the beginning that popped me too.
Absolutely, so good. I loved all of this. But Joe Dombrowski saying the warrant out for arrest for Mance Warner for almost vehicular manslaughter. That was the icing on the fucking cake. Absolutely.
I popped so hard. Because you imagine, like, there's a warrant for your arrest, sir, for almost vehicular manslaughter. Yeah. Like, I don't know if that was if Joe just, you know, because it's hard doing commentary. You got to constantly talk, and your brain sometimes doesn't keep up with your mouth. Oh, and I don't know if he meant to say like attempted, and just his brain.
No, listen.
Or if it was on purpose.
I actually prefer that he said almost, because almost vehicular manslaughter sounds so much more hilarious than, you know, attempted, because attempted is so technical. Yes, we get he meant to say attempted, but I love the fact that he said almost vehicular manslaughter. Before I cut to the next portion of the recap here, what did you think of Hammer's promo?
Oh, I'm looking at my shirt. Hammer's promo was okay. I mean, I liked it. It was solid.
I don't understand. Whenever I say his promo is okay, you say you loved it. The one time I say actually love this promo, you say it's okay. Explain. Go ahead, explain.
Well, I was trying to, but you cut me off.
Well, I didn't
like a Brampton driver.
No, I just wanted to emphasize, don't talk about Brampton drivers right now. I wanted to emphasize, you want to talk about almost vehicular manslaughter, just drive through Brampton. But literally, dude, okay, listen, I don't understand it. Whenever I say his promo was okay, you completely cut me off and disagree. And you say, no, I disagree with you completely. The one time I do it to you, because I'm like, okay, Rob's going to be happy today because I'm loving a Hammer promo. And the one promo I love, you go ahead and swerve me and you say, it wasn't bad. Like, what the hell?
I mean, if it makes you feel better, I didn't think Fatu's promo was great either.
I didn't think Fatu's promo was great either, but come on, dude. I finally give Hammer a little bit of love on his promo and you swerved me like, okay, anyways, I'm done.
It was good. I didn't say it was a bad promo. I didn't say I didn't like it. I don't know. I thought it was okay. I liked it more than Jacob's. How's that? Is that?
Well, that's not really comparing fairly, but okay, fair enough.
I mean, I liked it more than Fatu's. He kind of didn't do the build. He looked. I'll give him this. He looked genuinely pissed.
He did.
I don't know if they're doing like some like there's record producers do things like make a singer run laps to piss them off before they have to do a scream in a song to really get that emotion out of them. Like, that's real. That stuff happens. So I don't know what he did. Hammer's doing some method acting, but he looked genuinely pissed off.
Yeah, I will give you that. And that's what I think I liked. I liked the fact that he was really intense right out the gate in this promo. He didn't build to it. He was already intense. I don't know. I liked it. Okay, we get another OA vignette or OV vignette. And the reason why I say that, and this is where it gets confusing, because the OA card was there, and then when they flipped the card halfway through, it said OV. I'm very confused on all of this. I don't know the name of this person anymore. So we're just going to call it these three possible letters. The OAV guy, okay? It was another weird vignette, very, very weird. The gas mask guy, we got to see like a lot of old school TV shows running through this thing. I don't know what was happening, but it was a very weird yet intriguing vignette. This has been one hell of a build. And like Rob and I have talked about this OAV build for a very long time. When they finally show us who OA is, it's got to blow the roof off the place, because the build that's been happening, this has been happening since like October of last year. We're on like a 7th-month build right now. And or sorry, we're at 5 months, but by the time they show them, it's probably going to be after Super Fight. So we're looking at mid-March, early April. So a 7-month build to introduce a character. I love it. It's intriguing. But Rob, man, they better pull somebody amazing out of the hat, or it's just going to destroy this entire build that they've done. The entire build will be useless.
Yeah, I mean, a build this long, we're talking like this is the countdown to Jarrett to Y2J over here. They really got to come up with like I'm just fascinated because we keep on top of who's out there in the business, and I've been racking my brain trying to figure out who this could be. Is it somebody well known that's available right now? I can't think of anybody. Is it some like indie star that's
throwing us a curveball and it's going to be Joseph Samael coming in with like a Mads Kruger again?
I'd be fine with that personally.
I don't know. I mean, I love Joseph Samael, but I just don't know if all this build warrants that. I just don't know.
You just don't want to see like Contra 2.0?
I don't. I love the original Contra, and I love Joseph Samael as the leader of Contra. I just don't want it. Don't get me wrong. I think Joseph Samael coming back would be great if that's who it is, but that's the only person I could think of. And considering that Mads Kruger is on his indie run now, doing his regular shtick, I don't know. I really don't know what's happening. I mean, but of course, I don't think it can be because, well, actually, it could be because they did take out Mads. They took out Mads. OA took out Mads. So yeah. I don't know. I just don't know.
And I mean, spoiler alert, Hammer gets a package after the match, the main event.
Let's build to that.
All right. Well, we're talking about it because it was relevant, because what was in the package made me think of somebody right away. Jonathan but then I was like, he's signed to another company, and they wouldn't be doing all this build up
for just to bring him in for an appearance.
Right.
All right. So let's talk about the thing now. So after
Hammer, we can talk about the Hammer YAMATO.
Okay, well, there's still a couple more things I got to touch on.
All right.
So after the OAV vignette, we get a Davey Richards promo. And this was great. He goes, "Oh, you're calling yourself Johnny Fusion now? What happened to Johnny Nitro? What happened to Johnny Impact? How about Johnny Toilet? Call yourself whatever you want, but the hunt is on." And you know what? I don't find Davey Richards entertaining on promos at all. But Johnny Toilet, make that shit a shirt. I would buy it. Johnny Toilet was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed Davey Richards on this. And what I loved even more is MLW is doing this thing now where they are kind of interrupting the promos a little bit. They had EJ interrupt Hammer. They're kind of having these cutout promos. So CD comes on the big screen behind Davey, and he tells him, "Don't worry about Johnny, bro. Don't you worry, man. You want a challenge? We'll give you a challenge. Next week, you're going to get Johnny Fusion. You're going to get him. You're going to get Johnny Fusion. It's going to happen." Johnny comes out. He's all decked out in his gear. He's looking great. And he says, "See you next week, Doc." Because Davey Richards called himself the Doctor. So the Doctor, Davey Richards, is in the house, and he will go one-on-one with Johnny Fusion. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if is the title on the line yet in this one? Or is this just like a vengeance match? They didn't specify if
Davey Richards?
Yeah, they didn't specify if the openweight title was on the line versus Johnny Fusion.
I didn't catch that either, to be honest.
Yeah, so
I think it might just. I don't think the title's on the line.
So this is just a chance for a little bit of vengeance, a little payback on Johnny Fusion. But anyways, Johnny Toilet, love it. Davey Richards, I don't give you enough credit, but that was solid. You knocked it out of the park. Call yourself Johnny Toilet, whatever you want. Doesn't change the fact that I'm gonna whoop your ass. I loved it.
Well, it's like a guy like Davey Richards, like his shtick, his character is he's a fighter. Like he's a fighter. He trains to fight. He's a serious person.
Absolutely.
He's not out here cracking joke like Alex Kane being serious and being funny at the same time. David's more just like serious and straight up, and I feel like a lot of that is probably who he is as a person too. So to have him like come out and he wasn't trying to be like super funny. He was trying to be insulting, but it was funny. And because you don't expect that, it made it funnier. And yeah, I enjoyed this promo because I feel like Davey doesn't have a lot of latitude to work with this character for
Yes.
promos. Like
Yes.
he can only kind of do so much with who he is and who his character is with
Yes.
his promos. So this, you know, just something simple as calling him Johnny Toilet, it popped me. It made me laugh, and it was something different than we're used to from Davies. So I liked it.
I absolutely did. All right. After all that, we get main event time. That's right. It's Hammer versus the one and only YAMATO from Dragon Gate. If you have not checked out Dragon Gate in any form or fashion, I don't know how many more times, Rob and I got to tell you, go on your IPTV, check out Dragon Gate, because these guys, listen, everybody talks about New Japan and how amazing they are, and they are. They absolutely are. And All Japan is fantastic too. But Dragon Gate is absolutely amazing. And the star power that they have in that roster between YAMATO, between Shun Skywalker, and everybody else that we've already seen, Ben K, they're lighting it up with that roster. They are killing it right now with what they have to offer. And what they have to offer is something a little bit different than the pizzazz of a New Japan or the fighting style of an All Japan. What they have is the total package. And I just love everything about them. And Yamada versus Hammer did not disappoint. This match was amazing. It's only about 12 minutes long because there was a lot of stuff to get through after the match, but this was incredible. It was a great match. Hammer hits the Nightmare Pendulum to win, not before Yamada got his spots in, and he absolutely did. A couple really close falls on the champ. I'm not going to lie. I've said this before, but I thought Hammer was going to drop the title to Yamada just because Yamada almost had his number a few times. And Yamada, like we talk about Shun Skywalker, but man, oh man, we did not talk about Yamada and how good this guy really is. I mean, I love Shun Skywalker and I see the upside and I know how young he is. You've mentioned that a few times, Rob. But man, Yamada versus Hammer hit different, man. I loved it.
Yeah, Yamato is one of, like, I think the most decorated wrestlers in Japan, as Joe was saying, like especially in Dragon Gate. I think he's won almost everything you can win over there. He's a veteran. I was really curious in this match, like, are they gonna work more of a Japanese style, or is Yamato gonna work more American style? And I think they worked about like 80-20 Japanese to American. So it was more of a Japanese style, really hard hitting. I loved when they were just going strike for strike, forearm for forearm. Really enjoyed that sequence. They hit each other hard. Hammer was laying in his clotheslines, very Japanese like. Excuse me. I thought it was a great match, and I love this partnership with Dragon Gate, seeing that talent we're not used to seeing over here. Yamato really impressed. Those near falls, they had me a couple times like, oh shit, he's got him. They were split second near falls. Really enjoyed that match. And then we had what happened afterwards.
Well, what happens after that is that, Hammer is exhausted from the 12 minutes of hell he just went through, because Yamato definitely left some marks on your boy Hammer. He's walking to the back, and finally we see the gas mask guy. Oh, wait. And I was freaking out. I was popping hard. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to reveal him. They're going to reveal him. They're going to reveal him. They did not. They let me down. They broke me emotionally. It was very hard to get through. I'm not going to lie. But the gas mask guy is not OA. He's just, I guess, one of his henchmen, if you will. He's henching for food. And he hands Hammer a box. And this box was a really nice box, by the way. It was a really nice white box, had a little clip on the front. It was beautiful. And Hammer, ever the consummate professional, he pinned that box, positioned it right in front of the camera. He slow opened it. And what do we get? We get a dead octopus. The box is covered in ink. This octopus is, and Hammer picked it up because I guess he really didn't know what it was. And I didn't know either till he picked it up. And I'm like, oh shit, that is an octopus. At first I'm like, is that an octopus? I wasn't sure. I thought it might have just been fish guts. I wasn't sure what it was. But then when he pulled it up, I'm like, okay, now I get why the box was all black on the inside from the ink inside the octopus. So yeah, Hammer not happy. Actually had to wipe his hands on the ring. Very upset about this. But go to what you were saying before we get to the final part of this one. You said that octopus made you think of, Jonathan Gresham, 100%. The octopus
signed with Impact. So,
but now, again, like you said, it would be okay for Jonathan Gresham to come off in a one-off appearance, but for all this build for Jonathan Gresham to be coming full-time doesn't make sense, especially considering he signed to Impact. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I mean, frankly, I think MLW competes more with a company like Impact than they do with a company like WWE or AEW. So I don't really see why they want to bring in Impact people, even though Taya, but
Taya, TJP.
Yeah, TJP. Well, yeah, and TJ's not really there anymore. Like,
but he was. He was.
Yeah, he was. I don't know. I feel like it just wouldn't be Gresham with all that angle.
No,
I don't know.
It absolutely wouldn't. I agree with you. But the octopus for a split second did make us think, and we weren't sure what to think. And even Hammer sold it so beautifully because he threw the octopus down. He's like, I don't know what's happening, but I got to get out of here. I'm tired. I want to go home. And just as soon as he goes home, well, not yet. Whose music hits? Jacob Fatu. And he walks out and he cuts, hands down, the worst promo that we've heard from Jacob Fatu in a while. And he's been on point with his promos ever since he's kind of changed from the Contra kind of, war hero. He's come to this like new, just I'm Jacob Fatu. And it's been great. And some of the stuff he said was good, but it just wasn't the typical Jacob Fatu promo. I almost feel like, and I'm sorry to say this, Jacob, we know we love you here on Rewind, but I think he phoned it in. To end the night the way they did, especially with the box from OA, you really had to knock it out of the park. And I feel like Jacob Fatu just went for a base hit on this one. He didn't put any power behind it. He just said what he had to say. The fight broke out. Everyone kind of broke them apart. They did do some cool stuff around the ring, but that's how we went off the air with Hammer and Fatu and the whole security team out there. And I feel like to go through all of this, that killer match with YAMATO, then to have the OA henchman bring the octopus out to Hammer, and then to end it with a phoned-in promo from Jacob Fatu, just took all the wind out of the sails for Super Fight.
Yeah, it sucks that you said that, because that Jacob phoned it in, I should say, because that was also my exact thought when I watched it. And like, I've cut a promo or two. I felt like he was like, all right, I gotta cut this promo. He went out, he set up his phone, or whoever was out there with him, production. He did like a once and done, and was like, yep, that's good. And like, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't Jacob Fatu's best. And yeah, it did kind of feel a little phoned in. And no shade, because we show Jacob Fatu lots of love. We know he can do better. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We're not, but I mean, that was not his best. And as we're just, weeks away from Super Fight, we're weeks away from Fatu versus Hammer 2. This is not the kind of promos. This is where you got to be getting into your killer speed. You got to be getting into those hard hitting punchlines. You got to get into no holds barred. You got to get into holding back. And I feel like we got that early on as we build towards Super Fight. But I feel like now we're getting stagnant. Where in the beginning, I thought Hammer was phoning it in. Now I feel like Hammer's hitting his stride. You seem to disagree with me on this week. And I feel like Fatu is phoning it in now, where in the beginning he was hitting his stride. So it's almost like they've done an Uno reverse here, and we're getting one person phoning it in, and we're getting Hammer hitting his stride. That promo that he cut, the intensity was great. And the best part about it is that the one thing I did like is Hammer cutting off Fatu. Right before the brawl happened, Fatu was like, maybe I cash in now. You want to see Fatu versus Hammer now? And Hammer's like, you know what? Fuck, I'm done this. He literally ran down the ramp and he boot fucked Jacob Fatu right in the face.
Yeah, he went for it.
And you know what? That's after getting the dead octopus, having that battle with YAMATO, that's Hammer just saying, I'm done. I've had enough of today, and I'm going home. And I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. That's what he's saying. Hammer's saying, I've had enough. Fuck everybody right now. I'm going home, and I'm gonna, play my guitar.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna order Uber Eats, and I'm gonna Netflix and chill with my old lady. That's what I'm gonna do today.
Play my guitar.
That's what I'm going to do. So, kudos to Hammer. I thought Hammer carried the back half of this episode in terms of the match with YAMATO and boot fucking Jacob Fatu after that, phoned in promo. I thought Hammer did his part, and I loved every second of this. So I can't say anything bad about this episode other than the phoned in promo by Jacob Fatu, but everything leading up to that. And again, I marked out hard. When the gas mask dude came out, I thought, oh my God, they're finally giving it to me. 5 months, they're finally giving it to me. And Court Bauer, you broke my heart, dude. You really broke my heart today. I'll be honest with you. I was waiting for the gas mask to be taken off, waiting for the big reveal, waiting for something. And what do you give me? You give me a dead octopus. And did the octopus need to die that way? I don't believe it did. I hope you guys put it out of its misery humanely. I really do. I really do, guys. All right?
Yeah, my feelings on the matter.
Absolutely. Court Bauer, you broke my heart today. You really did. That's all I could say. I'm going to wrap this one up. Rob, you want to shout out your socials?
Yeah, you hit me on Instagram at The Real Uncle Bobby B. You don't want me on Facebook, and I don't use Twitter. It's that simple.
And the Straight Talk socials, you know them a billion times for when we do our interviews. Myself, the mini host, the links are always in the bottom. Straight Talk Wrestling pretty much everywhere except Twitter, which is @_Straight Talk. But I may change my Twitter handle to Court Bauer Broke My Heart. I don't know yet. I'm in the process of figuring things out. Anyways, guys, peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next week.
Adios.